Okay, Maggie, I'm going to go over one-step equations. I think we've done this before, but it was a while ago. So the thing to remember with one-step equations or equations in general is we always want to work in opposites. So if you see addition, you want to do subtraction. If you see a subtraction, you want to do addition. Same thing with multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. The opposite of division is multiplication. So we just want to constantly work in opposites. So this first one says a plus 16 equals 32. Since it's plus 16, we need to subtract 16 from both sides. Our whole goal when solving equations is to get the letter all by its lonesome. So we're going to do minus 16 and minus 16. Okay, bring down our a. Positive 16 minus 16 is going to cancel out and go to 0. Bring down our equal sign. 32 minus 16 is just 16, and that's your answer. Okay, the next one is b minus 7 equals negative 20. So we have a minus here. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So we are going to add 7 to both sides. Okay, bring down our b. This is negative 7 and positive 7, so those cancel out. Bring down our equal sign. Negative 20 plus positive 7. So if you think about a number line, you're over here. Remember we talked about the number line at negative 20, and you're adding positive 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this would be negative 19, negative 18, negative 17, negative 16, negative 15, negative 14, negative 13 is your answer. Okay, so when things touch, that means multiplication. So this one we had a plus sign, so we had addition, so we subtracted. Here we had a minus sign, so we had subtraction, so then we did addition to undo it. Okay, and here we have multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So on these, I just want you to draw a bar underneath both sides because that means dividing. We're going to divide both sides. Where here we did 2 addition signs, we're going to do 2 division signs. And we're going to divide by whatever is touching your letter. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. Okay, those cancel out. 4 divided by 4 is just 1, so we're just left with W. And negative 64 divided by 4 is negative 16. Okay, one thing we didn't talk about, but we should probably mention, is signs. So these are for multiplication and division. If we multiply or divide a positive by a positive, this just means multiplying, okay, we get a positive. If we multiply or divide a positive and a negative, doesn't matter, they could go negative or positive, positive or negative, we're still going to get a negative. And if we multiply or divide a negative and a negative, we're going to get a positive. So make sure you remember that with multiplication division. Memorize this. Positive and positive is positive. Positive and negative is negative. Negative and negative is positive. Okay. So these were touching, so that means multiplication. We divide both sides by whatever's touching the letter, and we end up with our answer. Okay, the next one, we already have division. That's what that bar means. Division bar. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by what's underneath our letter, which is 10. So we multiply that side by 10 and this side by 10. Okay, when we multiply this side by 10, we have a 10 on the top and a 10 on the bottom, just like back here. One on the top, one on the bottom. They go away, they cancel each other out, and we're left with R. Okay, and negative 6 times positive 10 gives me negative 60. Okay, and one more, they have these evaluate ones on here. Where was that at? I think it was at the bottom. to evaluate. You have your answer choices here. So which one would you plug in? Negative 48 divided by what is going to give you positive 6? So the first thing I want you to think is, okay, I have a negative. What should I divide it by, a negative or a positive, to get a positive? Remember, a negative times a negative, or a negative divided by a negative, is a positive. So we know we need a negative. So our answers are negative 8, or this one that has 2 negative signs, so that doesn't even make sense. Negative 48 divided by negative 8 gives us positive 6. Okay, same with this one. We had a negative. We want our end answer to be positive. So we know we need to divide it by another negative. So we have negative 125 or negative 5. Okay, negative 25 divided by negative 5 gives me a positive 5. You could also think of it as, what number would I multiply times 6 to get negative 48? I'd multiply negative 8 times negative 6 to get me negative 48. Or I'd multiply positive 5 times negative 5 to get me negative 25. Okay, I hope this helped. Just remember, working opposites. Plus 16, then we're going to minus 16 from both sides. If it's minus 7, we're going to add 7 to both sides. When things touch, that means multiplication, so you need to divide both sides. Whatever we do to one side of our equal sign, we have to do to the other, okay? Number on top of the other is just going to cancel out. Remember, positive times a positive, or a positive divided by a positive, is positive. Positive times a negative, or a positive divided by a negative, is negative. Negative times negative, or a negative divided by a negative, is a positive. Okay, when we have a division bar, that means we need to multiply. So we multiply both sides by that. It cancels out on one side, and we do our multiplication on the other. So do the evaluating ones. And I also saw one like this that I wanted to point out to you because I thought this was very odd that they do it like that. And that's fine. You can rewrite this as a minus 12 equals 45 if you'd like to do that. Plus a negative means the same thing as a minus 12. Okay? Or just know that then you should add 12 to both sides. I don't know why they would do plus and negative. I don't know if they're trying to confuse you or what. That's probably not really a proper way to write that. Okay, so this just, you'd still add 12 to both sides. Go with whatever sign is right next to the number you're trying to move. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.